Okay, we've been talking about where we came from, how we got here, where the earth came from. Was it created? Was there a big bang? Did it just poof happen by chance? Did it just all of a sudden happen? Did we evolve from a blob of goo in the ocean? Some blob of goo creep ashore and evolve slowly into all the animal life forms on this earth and stuff. Or were we created by a creator, a God with a specific purpose, a specific plan? These are all, questions we go over and over, but you know what? What difference does it make? Why does it even make any difference? Why are we wasting our time even talking about it? Why does it warrant a discussion? Well, if evolution is true, if we just evolved from this blob of goo, if we just came from the sea, if this earth just happened by chance with this big cosmic accident and a big bang out in space, you know what? If that's the case, if that's the way it was, then I guess it really doesn't matter. There is no reason to be spending all this time worrying about it because it doesn't make any difference. Because if that's what happened, if we're just here by chance, that's the end of it. You know what? You might as well eat, drink, and be merry because today we live and tomorrow we die. And then when we die, we're just going to return to the dust and ashes where we came from. We were born, created by, the process of, birth or, reproduction processes, but we're basically just made up of the elements in the earth, and when we die, our body dries up and just returns back to the elements and returns back to dirt. So if that's the way it is, and that's all there is to it, it really doesn't make any difference. We're totally wasting our time. And doesn't make any difference how you live. The only reason it would affect your life, or anything would affect your life, is just natural reactions or natural consequences of your actions, such as if you light a match and touch it, you're going to get burned. That's a natural consequence of just a physical action. And that's the end of it. Once the burn goes away, once it's healed and all that, it's gone, and you can either do it again or learn your lesson or not do it again. So why don't I steal from this guy? There's not going to be any natural reaction to that except for possibly I might get caught. So there's a risk. That's maybe why I wouldn't steal is because it's a risk. But as far as if I get away with it, there's no other consequence. There's no boomerang effect. There's nothing bad going to happen to me down the road, because I stole, unless it's a direct physical consequence, like I got caught or I spent dirty money and that got found out or something. But as far as moral consequences, we're just goo, Anyway, enough of that. So, if we evolved, you're right, it doesn't make any difference. We're wasting our time even thinking about it. But if there's a creator, if we are created, don't you think it makes sense to maybe find out why? I would think that if some being was to go to all the trouble, who knows how much trouble it really was, because, I guess depending on your belief system is how he got here. So whatever trouble it was, don't you think it doesn't matter? Whatever trouble it was, don't you think that they had a purpose in doing that? Don't you think they had a reason? They didn't just wake up one day and say, I think I'll create this earth, and I think I'll inhabit it, and then I'll just go away. I don't believe that that's what happened, and I can't really believe that that's what happened. Somebody decides they're going to build a house. Why are they going to build a house? Because they want somewhere to live. They're going to buy a pet. Why do you buy a pet? Why do you want a pet? Why does anybody go spend money on a pet that they just got to feed and take care of? If they want a companion, maybe, who knows? But the point is they have a purpose. They don't just go and one day say, I'm going to buy a pet just to buy a pet, and then they feed it one day and then they're done with it. Okay, people do that, but they had a reason to buy it in the first place. It wasn't just, something to do. So, if this creator, if this person, if this being or civilization or whatever, if we are created, then most likely there was a reason we were created. I personally, from the things that I've talked about, can't understand how anyone can believe that we evolved and we just came from nothing. So to me, that means we were definitely created, and to me, that means we really need to know why we were created, because I would think that the Creator would have a purpose for our lives. And with this purpose, I would personally think that the Creator would have left us instructions. You know, it would have left us something that tells us what our purpose is, or that we can find out what our purpose is. Every major religion that believes in a Creator believes in God, some form or another. Jehovah, Allah, Yahweh, God, God of Abraham, God the Father. And there is no other belief process or system in place that believes in a Creator, that believes in some other being that's Creator. I'm talking about mainstream. I mean, obviously, there's little offshoots that think that some aliens came and planted us or whatever, and this, that, and the other. But even if that were true, which obviously the little offshoots, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna go there. But even if that were true, don't you think these little alien creatures would have left us some instructions, would have left an idea of why we're here? I think that probably that is true. I think probably there are instructions. I think probably whoever or whatever created us left instructions. What instructions do we have? The Bible. What else? Nothing that I know of. I mean, obviously, okay, I say the Bible. I'll talk about the Old Testament. The first 5 books of the Bible specifically. Every major religion on this earth that believes in a Creator believes in the first 5 books of the Bible. The basic story of creation, the story of Israel, and the story of Exodus. They all believe it up to the point that Joshua entered the promised land with Israel. And after that point, most religions are still on board. Most mainstream religions are still on board, all the way through the Old Testament. And what's our other choice? What else do they? What's our other choices? What other theories are in place as far as a Creator? None. So basically, one hand says we evolved, and the other hand says God created us. If God created us, we have a responsibility as His creation to find out why. What's His purpose? What is our purpose? What are we doing here? Why did He create us? Why did He create this earth? This is going to be kind of a difficult question to answer, so we probably better stop here. I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your thoughts.